Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman unite to make a major announcement for Deadpool 3 as a movie treatment for a beloved NBC sitcom is announced and trailers for both Halloween Ends and Bones and All are released. I'm Joe Acerno.
And I'm Darius Delsoin. This is Cinema Unchained.
Welcome to another episode of the Cinema Unchained podcast. Now, as much as we have a lot of interesting topics lined up for you today, something tells me that the show will be on just the leaner side, but nonetheless, it'll still be worth your time. Now, before we get into the latest updates surrounding Deadpool 3, if you want more fun, honest, and engaging talks about movies, TV, and everything else in between, follow us, subscribe to us wherever it is that you can, whether you're on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts, and follow our social media pages that are listed in the description for the show. Now, before we get into the trailer for Bones and All, the internet really was lit on fire this past week when Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman announced something pretty spectacular for the next Deadpool movie. And in case you somehow haven't heard at this point, Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman will be starring together in Deadpool 3. And of course, they'll be playing their beloved roles. Ryan Reynolds will be playing Deadpool, and Hugh Jackman will be returning as Wolverine. Now, this is just such a big announcement because, again, they've always had like that little quote off-screen rivalry with each other. And also Wolverine, Hugh Jackman, it seemed like Hugh Jackman hung up playing Wolverine after Logan came out. So all this coming together is really just a comic book movie fans, nirvana, the more I really think about it.
Oh, yes, very much so. Yeah, this announcement, it threw me off guard. And because I was just like, there's no way not necessarily no way, because, let's face it, No Way Home had 3 Spider-Men share the same screen, and we all thought that wasn't going to happen, but it ended up happening. So Hugh Jackman coming back to play Wolverine, I think is awesome. There's a lot of actors that, and I think we've discussed this before, that like that is like their character, and you see them as that character. Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, and Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, and even Patrick Stewart as Professor X to a certain degree as well. So hearing that he's back in this role, and especially knowing that even a while ago he was very adamant about not coming back and wanting Logan to be his very last, it's interesting, and I'm really intrigued to see what type of story they come up with these two characters, because in the comics their chemistry is always just bonkers and fun. So I'm really excited for Deadpool 3. This is officially, for me personally, one of my most anticipated MCU movies now.
It's interesting because I'm kind of happy that this announcement happened because, I think we talked about in the show, like how like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, like their quality is kind of declining overall since Phase 4 really started. The only movies that I can really think about that I'm actually excited for are Black Panther 2 and Guardians 3. That's really it. They got a lot more than that coming out, whether it's the movies, the series, and everything like that. But after hearing about this, now this gives me a lot more hope. It doesn't come out until 2024. So, obviously we got ways to go. But between this, Black Panther 2, Guardians 3, and I forgot to mention the 2 Avengers movies that they have lined up. Those will always be exciting. But now things may or may not be looking up for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The problem is that, the latter movies that I mentioned, Deadpool 3, 2 Avengers movies, they're not coming out for a while. They're not coming out for at least a couple of years. So we still have to deal with not that we have to deal with it, it's not like we're working at Marvel, but we really still have all these problems with Marvel now. The clear lack of quality when it comes to storytelling, when it comes to VFX and everything like that, everything just feeling so rushed and just being so sloppily handled. Again, I hope that the curse that Marvel is plaguing themselves with at the moment, that it doesn't contaminate Deadpool 3, that it doesn't impact the Avengers movies. Again, we'll see what happens with Black Panther 2, which comes out in November, and Guardians 3, which I think is slated for next year, 2023. Maybe those movies will dodge the curse, but I don't know, we'll just have to wait and see. I just hope that Deadpool 3 isn't really screwed up by Marvel, the MCU's really own arrogance at this point, too.
Yeah, I agreed. So we both know the quality of Marvel has been very up in the air at the moment, especially with the past, really year of movies and even some of the shows. So, you make a good point that hopefully this movie Deadpool 3 doesn't feel isn't affected by that. I have a feeling it probably won't. I don't know. Ryan Reynolds right now, because it's been a while since Deadpool 2, and even since the Fox acquisition, we haven't heard anything other than they're going to keep the R rating apparently. So, and again, a lot of clearly has been happening behind the scenes, clearly with the involvement of Hugh Jackman. So I wonder what was happening during that time, trying to get the story right, etc. Because it feels like, because again, I like Deadpool 1, and I like Deadpool 2 more than I like Deadpool 1. So it seems like Ryan Reynolds is very much more hands-on, obviously. He was hands-on with both of Deadpool 1 and 2, but it definitely feels even more so with 3, and hopefully, things stay consistent with the Deadpool franchise.
Mm-hmm. Another bit of hope that I have for this is that Deadpool 3 is currently slated to be directed by Sean Levi, who worked on Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds, and he didn't do Deadpool 2. I don't think he did Deadpool 2.
No, he did Free Guy, and he did the Adam Project.
That's okay. That was the other one. Yeah. So yeah, him and Ryan Reynolds seem to have like a great working relationship, great dynamic between the two of them. So that gives me a lot more hope there.
Yep. So I'm excited. I think Sean Levi is a great choice. Obviously, we see how he handled Free Guy and how he did the Adam Project. He's also part of Stranger Things. So I think there's a lot going for this, and I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm more optimistic than not. Again, I think the biggest facts it comes down to, can Marvel stop being itself the way it is long enough to not screw up this movie? So we'll see what happens. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. And for all of you, what do you think of this new announcement regarding Deadpool 3? Were you just excited as really the vast majority of the internet when you saw Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, in that same little house together making that little video announcement online? Leave your thoughts wherever it is that you can. And just before we move on to the next topic, the film is slated for release at the moment on September 6th of 2024. So mark your calendars, folks.
Yeah.
Now, before we get into the announcement of the NBC sitcom Community getting the movie treatment, the trailer was released, or at least a more in-depth trailer for the film Bones and All was released this past week, and it follows two cannibalistic lovers as they take a road trip across the U.S. during the presidency of Ronald Reagan. So figure about the 1980s, about 35, 40 years ago. And this is really a horror, romance, and coming-of-age film. It stars Timothée Chalamet, Taylor Russell, and Mark Rylance, and it's directed by Luca Guadagnino, who also did 2018's Suspiria and Call Me By Your Name. So he's got an interesting track record so far. And after watching this, there were a lot of mixed emotions that I felt, and all of them were good. You know what I mean? There was something that felt very creepy and eerie about this. But at the same time, this had potential to be very emotionally touching and satisfying too. And again, this is all just from the trailer. I somehow got both warm and chilling feelings watching this, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree. It's the same thing even for me. It was this was just chilling, just the trailer alone was a chilling experience. And I was just wow, this was unexpected. You told me about the trailer and I was just all right, let me check it out. And I was wow, it reminds me of the feeling I got from, I think, The Devil Did It All. The Devil Within or something like that with...
The Devil All the Time?
Yeah, The Devil All the Time. It reminded me like that. Just that feeling from the trailer and even from that movie that it was just a chilling and engrossing experience. And I was I'm interested. And I definitely want to see how this movie plays out because it definitely feels like there's a lot of themes going on and even a lot of intricacies within the dynamic of the relationship between the two characters, and I love both actors too. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be an interesting experience, and I'm actually intrigued by it.
It's interesting, because when it comes to this, right? I watched the trailer again, got that offsetting feeling, but in a good way, right? So I decided to do a little bit more digging. So the IMDb official synopsis that two lovers or whatever learn to live on the outside, on the margins of society. Then I dug a little bit deeper and I found that they're two cannibals. I'm oh shit, that's interesting. But I'm just wondering now, will this movie somehow find a way to humanize them? It really just makes you wonder what everyone's willing to accept. because I've read some general consensuses on the reviews so far. Again, they praise the direction of Luca Guadagnino, the performances, the genre blending, how it's horror, romance, and how the two of them really just seem to come together. But it looks so freaky. It looks so freaky, but in it's somehow poignant way. You know what I mean? I'm already in awe of what this movie is trying to accomplish, and just the overall aesthetic and feelings that I'm getting from this so far.
Yeah, exactly. So, like I said, for me, it's just you nailed it, all the points really. So it's kind of just I'm actually interested in seeing this movie, and I just want to see how it all plays out, just because it seems like the insane extreme, but on a bit of subtlety, but also just even seeing how the gore and all of that is being established, the blood and everything is being established. So I'm definitely interested in seeing this movie, and potentially even in theaters, honestly.
I want to see this in theaters. I'm definitely seeing this in theaters. I'm going to pose a little bit of a crazy question right now. I feel a lot of times, the stereotypical date movie is something of the romance genre or the horror genre, right? So I feel this movie, could be a good fit. But then I think about it it's about two cannibals. So I'm is that going to be too sexy? I don't know if that's going to really make a great date movie. So what do you think of that?
Oh boy, a date movie. Whoa.
Yeah. Oh my God. So yeah, we'll just have to see, what happens as far as this one. I'm looking forward to it. I'm happy. I think I've said this at least an episode or two ago. 2022 has been kind of a lackluster year for movies so far. We've had some good ones, had some standouts, but I feel we haven't had as many genuinely great movies this year as we had in years past, 2021. Not so much 2020, but you go further back, you can find some really solid years for film. But now we're getting to the point where okay, we're just starting in October now. Now is when usually the best, quote, best movies of the year start to come out. So maybe things will start to pick up. And I feel this movie could possibly be one of the films that picks up 2022 overall.
Yeah, exactly.
So the film is currently scheduled for release on November 18th. And for all of you, if you haven't gotten a chance to watch the trailer yet, I highly recommend that you do. And should you actually watch the trailer, what are your thoughts on it? Do you actually plan on seeing this in theaters? Does it feel a little too freaky for you? Leave your thoughts wherever it is that you can. Now, before we cap off the show with the trailer for Halloween Ends and our thoughts on that, a movie based on the hit NBC sitcom Community has been announced for Peacock. Currently, 6 of the 9 original stars are set to return, including Joel McHale and Ken Jeong, and 3 have not yet confirmed to return, namely Donald Glover, Chevy Chase, and Yvette Nicole Brown. Now, Darius, you were the one that sent me the update for basically this announcement. Have you watched Community? Because I've only seen a couple of episodes. Have you really gotten into that show? Did you ever?
Yeah, I love Community. I got into that show. I heard about it. And I mostly heard about it really through when Winter Soldier was being filmed, because the directors of that directed Community, and I wanted to check it out. And they were saying that how they got the Winter Soldier job, I think, was because the executives from Marvel saw their paintball episode, and that's kind of how they got into it. So I watched Community, and I fell in love with that show almost instantly, and I was like, this is great, and it's such a good show. I'm excited. I watched all the seasons. I think the last season was a bit meh, but overall, it was just such a fun, entertaining ride. And hearing that they're doing a movie, because there were talks of a movie for a while, but now it's official. So I'm excited to see how this plays out.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really gotten into this show too much. I remember kind of liking it from the couple of episodes that I watched, but I just can't help but wonder too, especially when it comes to the cast members that haven't returned or that are not confirmed to return yet. You have Donald Glover. Do you think he's going to come back?
See, that I don't know. I don't think Yvette is going to come back. That's the one where I don't think she will, because I think I don't know. I don't know about who could be coming back. I hope Donald Glover comes back, because he was a standout for me in that show, and I loved his character. So, I hope he comes back.
Why don't you think Yvette will come back, or why don't you? Excuse me.
I don't know. I think a while ago I remember I heard over some behind the scenes drama between her and I think Chevy. So
Yep, Chevy Chase, yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I'm a bit like, I don't know necessarily. We'll see. Again, this is all just if I remember correctly. I could be wrong. Like I said, I don't want to really say as a fact, but it's just like I remember a while ago when I was when I was just looking up the show, there were some behind the scenes drama at some point. I think between I think two actors or something, and Chevy was at one of them. But yeah, I mean, we'll wait and see. I'm curious and intrigued to see how this comes about. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, if I had again, I didn't watch the show too much, but like if I had to bet on one person definitely not coming back, it's probably Chevy Chase, because like he's even acknowledged that he was a bit of a jerk on set at that time too.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'd be very surprised if Donald Glover comes back, because he left fairly. How many seasons of Community were there? Because I read that he left in season 5, right?
Yeah.
He was only in a couple episodes for season 5, and he didn't even return for the series finale. Correct?
No, I don't think he did. Yeah, I don't remember.
So
if he did.
I'd be very surprised if Donald Glover comes back, because he's also got a lot going on too. You know what I mean? So we'll just have to wait and see as far as that. Do you have any idea as far as when this movie's supposed to come out? I just know it's supposed to go directly to Peacock, and that's it.
I don't remember entirely. I don't remember the exact release date that they mentioned, but I do know that it is happening, and I think they said next year, if I remember correctly.
Next year.
Yeah, or late next year or something like that. Obviously we'll have the release date, everything in the information in the description below, but yeah, I don't remember the exact year or the release date for that.
Okay. All right, so then I guess we'll just have to stay tuned for that, and I guess maybe if I plan on watching the movie, I'll have to actually watch the show too. How many seasons of the show are there?
There were like 5. It's been a while since I've seen the show, to be honest. Last I saw it was like about 2 years ago, I think, or a year ago.
As far as anyone that's listening with us right now, are you big fans of Community? Did you ever actually watch the show? Did you ever really get into it? Are you excited about this show getting the movie treatment? Leave your thoughts wherever it is that you can. And now to cap off the show, we're going to be talking about what I'm going to assume is the final trailer for Halloween Ends, which was released this past week. 4 years have passed since the events of Halloween Kills, and Michael Myers is alive and well yet again after disappearing for all that time. This kind of feels like more of the same at this point. Like, Michael Myers hasn't been around for a while, and now he's around again. Like that's what this has really devolved into.
Pretty much. I mean, that's the Halloween franchise at this point. But at least hearing or understanding that this is the final installment, I guess, has me a bit relieved. Just because I think for me, the last Halloween movie, I did not enjoy that much.
Yeah, it was kind of rough to watch at certain points. I remember Halloween Kills. I remember laughing more than I should have, and at scenes that I definitely should not have been laughing at.
Yeah.
So there are a few things that were a bit rough about the movie. I actually worked on the press junket or one of the press junkets for that film, and everyone involved was like really nice. But the movie itself just wasn't there, and I felt like, all right, at least when watching that movie, the performers or whatnot, they at least gave their all. They did what they could. Like, I can't say they were the problem. I think it's just more about how the movie was just written and executed overall. But this one, Halloween Ends. We'll just have to wait and see. Will Halloween actually end? Is it Halloween? Is it really Halloween Ends, or is it Halloween Ends until they reboot the franchise?
Yeah, or is it Halloween Ends Part 1?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Halloween Ends Part 1. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't think they have enough meat in the story to extend to a Part 2. But, watch. Imagine if it's something crazy, after this movie, quote, ends. Michael Myers has a son of some kind. You know what I mean? I can just imagine them pulling that kind of bullshit. You know what I mean? I can just imagine it.
The worst part is I can see that. But yeah, we're gonna have to wait and see. I don't, the last one left a bad taste in my mouth when it comes to Halloween. I'm still interested in this one just to see how they're gonna end it. They're obviously teasing a face reveal, which has me a bit, not too sure how I feel about that, of a face reveal of Michael Myers, but we'll see how they handle that too.
Here's the thing. I genuinely would like to see a face reveal, but after that face reveal, then this movie truly has to be the last one. It has to be. You know what I mean? Because I feel like if they don't do it, I understand the arguments of them not doing the face reveal, right? Because like, oh, like the point of like Michael Myers, like this, faceless serial killer, right? Like, there's that air of mystery that's supposed to be there. But I'm like, you know what? I feel like they've been kind of teasing that face reveal here a little bit here and there. I feel like after all this time, like I'd be wondering, like, oh, what does that person behind the mask really look like? I feel like, if they don't at least give us that after all this time, where there's this air of mystery around him, like I feel like if they do reveal his face, then I feel like that would be like a sort of like necessary sort of closure. You know what I mean? So if they don't do that in this film, I'll be a little ticked. You know what I mean? Like, all right, you've done the mystery thing long enough. Just take it off already. You know what I mean? Just do it. Just however many movies at this point, just do it already. And just put Michael Myers away forever.
Just throw it away forever.
No, seriously, just put it away forever. Just take the mask off, actually kill him this time, and just be done with it.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see how this is handled, to be honest, because I'm a bit meh, but I'm still interested. I do want to see it. I just don't know how I feel about it. Is this a day one watch for me? Most likely not, but it's that thing of like, I'll get around to it when I get around to it.
Yeah, like this is one of those. I'd be in the same. If we didn't have this show, I'd be in the same boat as you. But like I just feel like. Even with that trailer too, right? Is it just me or did that was a short trailer, like about 2 minutes or so. They gave away way too much. They gave away way too much. Like that's, like all like those kills that are in that trailer, like come on. There's going to be like almost no, or there's going to be at the very least half as much suspense as there should be when watching this film. But this trailer gave so much away. This is kind of one of the problems that I had with the marketing for Don't Worry, Darling, too. Like, it was like a little TV, not a little TV snippet, but like a little snippet that was released online for marketing purposes. It was a YouTube ad, too, so it's not like I could just, like, skip it. And it gives away a major plot point in the film. Like, oh, come on, guys. Like, can we try a little harder? Like, seriously. You know what I mean? And again, the fact that I feel like they're, at least with Halloween Ends, that they're giving away so much in the trailer in terms of the kills and everything like that, tells me that there isn't enough in the story to tease.
Yeah.
So they have to, put in all the kills in the trailer just to get people to actually come and see the film.
Yep. Man, this Halloween, man. You gotta just end this.
Yep.
I love Michael Myers, but just end it now. All right? We don't want this to become another, unfortunately I have to say this, Fast and Furious. But, yeah.
That's just how things are with the Halloween franchise, as it seems. Like I said, this has to be the end of this franchise. This really has to be. But yeah, for everyone, what are your thoughts on this film, on this trailer? Do you still care at this point? Like, do you actually see yourself, jumping and skipping to the theater to watch this like you did with the original Halloween film? Leave your thoughts wherever it is that you can. And just before I forget to, this film is set for release on October 14th of this year, so it's a couple weeks from now. And that's all we have for you today. Don't forget to like, follow, share, subscribe, and hit the bell to get all notifications, whether you're on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. And follow the social media pages that are listed in the description for the show. And we'll see you next week. Take care.